Hi, I'm Jamie Hunt, and welcome to Dear Jamie, a video series where I answer your most pressing questions about higher education marketing and enrollment. Today's question comes from Sarah M. She asks, how can my institution create more authentic, inclusive marketing without being performative? And this is an excellent question. If you're thinking about inclusion after the campaign is built, you're already too late. Authentic inclusion really has to start at the strategy table, not in a photo swap at the 11th hour, not in a situation where you're like, oops, we didn't include this group in this view book, and so we need to quick find a photo and plop it in there. When you're at the strategy level, when you're building out that creative brief, this is when you need to ask yourself, who's represented in this piece? Whose voice is missing? Whose voice is shaping this story? We want real people, real voices, real stories, and that's what our audiences want. They don't want stock photos and generic images. These sorts of things are what tell people, okay, this is the stereotypical, we found one person that represents this group, and they're in every photo on campus. I know that's probably not happening as much as it was happening when I first started working in higher ed, but we do not want to be there. And also, it's important to be honest. If your campus isn't where it should be yet, say that. Spin is really easy for Generation Z to spot, and it's very hard to recover from. And remember, when you're talking about inclusion, it's not just about race and gender. One group that's hardly ever represented in our materials are students with disabilities, but that represents about 25% of our student population. How are we sharing their stories, showing how they're overcoming obstacles, how they're overcoming their struggles? Make sure that you're having those voices in your pieces, but also in the room in those conversations. What do students want to know? What do they want to hear? What do they want to see? The bottom line is inclusive marketing isn't just let's tokenize, let's plop somebody into this. It really needs to start at the strategy level, and it really needs to be a mindset that permeates the work that you're doing. I hope that helps. This question comes from Brian R. I want to implement a new project management system for my team, but they are incredibly resistant. What should I do? I think this is an excellent question and something I've dealt with multiple times in my higher ed career. It's really important to realize that a project management system isn't just software. It's a big culture shift. And like any big change, it needs strategy, structure, buy-in, and communication around it. You need to start by defining, why are you doing this? Are you solving for missed deadlines, poor visibility, an unclear approval process, resource bottlenecks? It's really important to be crystal clear about what the pain points are that you're solving for, because those will anchor your messaging and your strategy. The next thing you want to do is really pilot a project management system. This isn't something you're going to roll out to the entire team all at once, because when you first roll it out, things are going to break, guaranteed. So you want to find a small, diverse subset of your team to start using the system, identify what isn't working, what's working well, break it, give some feedback, and then work out those kinks as you build toward a larger rollout. And then finally, you really want to train like it matters, not just how to use the tool, but why the tool matters to the team's success. Set clear expectations. This is not an optional thing. If this is a new system, you need to be really clear. This is the system. We're not going to continue to use other systems. And you have to lead by example. If you're not using the tool, your team's not going to use it either. So you need to be in there using it. Be very active, very visible, so that people see that this isn't just you forcing something on them, but you're really taking the time to use the tool yourself. I have rolled out many new project management processes for teams over the years, and I have made a lot of missteps and learned from this every single time. And honestly, I think if you follow those steps and think about this as not just an implementation of a tool, but a big change management project, and approach it with that mindset, you will have a lot more success. If you don't do that, it's very likely that your team's going to continue to use these real scattershot ways of keeping track of their projects, and you're going to be moving no closer to the goal that you're trying to accomplish. So thank you so much for listening. If you have a question, send an email to Jamie at solvehighered.com. That's Jaime, or hit me up on LinkedIn at Jaime Hunt, Jaime. I look forward to hearing your questions and answering them in the next episode.